Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel, Homeopathy Super Sessions by Dr. Jagos. Today we'll be doing the part 3 or the last part of chapter 29, Disease Classification, Psychosis. So let us move forward. Let us see what are the GIT symptoms of psychosis. The pains are always colicky in nature, especially in the abdomen, and they're better by bending double and by hard pressure. So again, the pains of psychotic miasm will be always colicky in nature. So spasmodic colicky type of pains is the hallmark of the psychotic pain. Please remember that. And they're better by double bending and hard pressure. They are occasionally diarrheas, but always preceded and accompanied by colic, griping, and tenesmus. As I told you, the pains are spasmodic, intermittent, colicky in nature. So there will be tenesmus, griping, colicky type of pain. The stools are gushing with great force. He is usually aggravated by eating any food and better by lying on the stomach or by pressure. So whenever diarrhea is there, whatever he eats or drinks, he will usually pass it out in the stools, and he feels better by lying on the stomach and by hard pressure. When the colicky pain abdomen, an important concomitant of irritability is present. So along with the colicky pain, an important mental concomitant of irritability will be there. The constant symptom of colic is seen in all tubular structures of the body. So in all the tubular structures of the body, you'll get this spasmodic colicky type of pain. Say, for example, in the bronchi, in the bronchioles, in the fallopian tubes, giving rise to dysmenorrhea, or in the uterus giving rise to dysmenorrhea, or in the coronary vessels giving rise to ischemic heart disease, and so on and so on. So in all the tubular structures of the body, you will see the striking characteristic colicky pain of the psychotic miasm. The psychotic child smells sour. Even the stools are sour or they smell sour. The child wants constant attention. He must be rocked or carried. His colics are better from lying on the abdomen or for pressure. So the child is irritable. When there's diarrhea, there are sour smelling stools, and always the child wants to be carried or he wants to be rocked. And again, the modality better by lying on the stomach or better by firm pressure. The urinary tract symptoms, there is intense pain on urination and the child screams from pain. This is due to spasmodic contraction affecting the urethra. So on the urethra also you will get the spasmodic affections. Many diseases of the urinary tract are combined with syphilis, sora, and psychosis. And the last two are the most prominent. So in the urinary tract infection, you may get a combination of all the three miasms, the syphilis, sora, and the psychosis, especially sora and psychosis, which is most prominent. In a diabetic patient, it's usually strong tubercular, but if there's psychotic taint as well, the condition becomes more malignant. So in a diabetic patient, which is generally a tubercular miasm, but if a psychotic taint is there or the psychotic stigmata is there, along with the tubercular manifestations, then it will become the condition will become much more worse or more malignant. Bright disease is a manifestation of all the three combined miasms. The bright disease is a combination of sora, syphilis, and psychosis. Where we find fibrous changes, we may be sure that a strong psychotic influence is there. But whenever we see the fibrous changes taking place anywhere in the body, we know that there's a strong psychotic stigmata or the influence in the body. In the rectum, we find many conditions of tubercular origin, such as stricture, fistula, sinuses, and pockets. But when there is a sudden addition of psychotic stigmata, the conditions are generally aggravated and there is much more tendency towards malignancy. So Robert says that all the conditions pertaining to the rectum, like fistula, stricture, sinus formation, they are psychotic and they are rather tubercular in origin. But when the psychotic stigma is attached to the tubercular stigma, or when the combination of tubercular and the psychotic miasm, the symptoms become greatly aggravated, or they go towards malignancy. The combination of tubercular diathesis with psychosis produces cancerous affections. Female symptoms, the most frequent location of psychotic manifestation in women is in the pelvic organ. So in the women, the pelvic organs are targeted by the psychotic miasm. Pelvic inflammation, such as inflammation of the ovaries, inflammation of the female pelvis, may be traced to this taint. In the most chronic types, we get cystic degeneration of the ovaries, the uterus, and the fallopian tube. So we get cyst formation in the ovaries, in the uterus, as well as in the fallopian tubes. So you may get polycystic ovarian disease, you may get fibroids in the uterus, or you may get ectopic pregnancy. Again, the infection may pass on to the peritoneal cavity, and we may find general peritonitis and general cellulitis. So the inflammation from the pelvic organs may be passed into the peritoneum and you can get generalized peritonitis with generalized cellulitis. Appendicitis is directly traceable to psychotic influences. If, however, there is any suppression of psychotic manifestation, especially of the discharge, then the stigmatic power of the psychotic miasm gets energized. So if there's any suppression, especially of the discharges, then the psychotic miasm gets energized or it gets maximized. The disease penetrates deeper into the organ. So what happens? The disease will penetrate into more or deeper important organs. Disturbance are also seen in the sexual organs. Surgery is the only way out. The surgeon believes that the patient is on her way to recovery. Unfortunately, there will be a sudden flare and death will soon ensue. This occurs because psychotic influences goes unnoticed in the patient. So when the disease goes into more deeper organs and the surgeon will think that surgery is the only way out and he operates on the patient, then suddenly the patient will die because the surgeon doesn't realize that whatever psychotic stigmata is there, it goes unnoticed in the patient and it is not noticeable to the surgeon also. The skin symptoms, psychotic skin manifestations tend towards overgrowth or extra deposits rather than destruction of the tissue. So in psychotic manifestations, you will get hypertrophy, hyperplasia, overgrowth, deposits, rather than destructiveness of the tissue. So the destructiveness of the tissue will be seen in the syphilitic miasm. The nails are ribbed or ridged and thick and heavy. So the nails are thick, they are heavy, and they crack easily. Psychosis never gives a true ulcer. There are many warts and warty growths. These are psychotic signposts. So again, another important hallmark symptom of the skin is the warty growths. So warts, papillomas, nevi, all these will become psychotic manifestations. So moles and papilloma may be either syphilitic or psychotic, but generally it is psychotic. Deposits of gouty concretions characterize this stigmata. So deposits of uric acid or gouty concretion is a main important stigma of the psychotic miasm. Moles, warts, wine color patches, and other manifestations of unnaturally thickened skin belong in this classification are also seen. So thickening of the skin, that is also a psychotic manifestation along with moles and wart and wine-colored patches. Skin eruptions of the stigma occur in circumscribed spots and they are exfoliating and there are exfoliating eczemas. Psoriasis is a combination of these three stigmata when psychosis and psora being predominant. So Robert says that psoriasis is a combination of all the three stigmata, psora, syphilis, and psychosis, but psychosis and psora are more predominating. The fish scale eruptions are also seen as a combination of three stigmata, where the dryness of psora, the squamous character of syphilis, and the overgrowth of tissue or thickened skin manifests of the psychosis. So he says in psoriasis also, the fish scale eruptions are seen, and there are the combination of three miasms, where in psora you get dryness, you get the squamous character of syphilis, and the overgrowth of the tissue in the psychotic manifestation. So psoriasis is a combination of all the three stigmata, in which Robert says psychosis and psora are predominating. Herpes zoster also has a psychotic base. Malignancies of the skin are most violent and intractable in proportion as the psychotic taint is increased. Barber's itch rarely develops in psychotic patients, while it rarely develops until there's a psychotic taint. So Barber's itch will develop in a psychotic patient, and it rarely develops until there is a psychotic stigmata or taint in the body. Stitch abscesses never occur unless there is a psychotic tendency in the patient. So if there's a psychotic tendency in the patient will get abscess formation or a stitch abscess. So that's all in this video. So the full psychosis is over in these 3 parts. So thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, kindly do subscribe to my channel, Homeopathy Super Sessions by Dr. Jagos. It contains up-to-date 174 videos, and hope you like all my videos. If so, please give it a thumbs up and also share the video. Thank you very much.